And when on the tracks that Michael co-produced, you know, how did the kind of workload share out between him and Quincy?
On the tracks that you produced, how did the workload share out with you and Quincy?
Well, the songs that I wrote, I did myself. Well, I did the music. I wrote the music, wrote the lyrics, the melody, and everything. But Quincy and I produced it together. And on the other songs, I was there. Sometimes I wasn't there. I told him this should go that way. We worked together. And that's what I love about working with Quincy. He's not a selfish person at all. And he's unlimited musically. He can, God, if you want anything, he can do it. Jazz, folk, pop, classical, soul, gospel, anything. Renaissance music, anything. Circus music. He's just, especially because of his knowledge and experience with movie soundtracks, having to do a scene when a guy murders somebody or get the drama. And my album has some of those things in it. And it was just wonderful working with him. The Paul McCartney song, Paul McCartney wasn't there for his songs, but, you know, he knew we were in the studio. He wrote that one especially for me, Girlfriend, as well as the Stevie Wonder song that he wrote for me, I Can't Help It. And I was just so happy to work with such wonderful people, because I love professionals, people who are just incredible at their work. And I just want to just keep, you know, doing that, and being with those people, learning and growing and experiencing that whole thing. I think it's great.
When Michael's in the studio, is it important to him to go for a vocal straight away, or does he kind of build up to doing the one?
When you're in the studio, do you have to go for a vocal straight away, or do you have to build up to it when you're in the studio?
No, I do vocals pretty quick. Sometimes you do have to get into the song and have the right mood. But for instance, Ben, I did in one take. I went right in and cut it, and I said, "Want to do another one?" And the guy said, "No, it was great." I said, "Was it?" And that's how that came about. But I did two versions of Ben. I did the one you heard in the movie was another version. The one I did for the record was another version, which I did in one take. And that was at Motown. And I'll never forget that little apple box I stood on because I couldn't reach the microphone. And my name was written on it. And it's sitting at Diana Ross's house now. She has all my little doodling papers I would draw and write.
I was going to ask Michael which he enjoys most, the studio or being on stage.
Which do you enjoy most, Mike? The studio or being on stage?
That is kind of a difficult question because I'm crazy about both. Because the studio gives you the opportunity to be on stage, especially if you want an incredible crowd. But I think stage would be my favorite. I just enjoy entertaining. It's the best. The best, really.
Does he actually find it hard to keep from dancing when he's in the studio?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that is my problem. That is my problem. I'm just dancing around and I have to, hard to keep still, moving around from the mic. That is a big problem for me. Around here, too.
Does he work very hard on his dancing?
He just, the question, do you work very hard on your dancing?
No, I should, but I don't. I really should, you know, like once a week get in the room and just throw around a couple of ideas. but I don't. I just, whatever you see me do, it's spontaneous reactions on stage. It's nothing planned. It's nothing that I got in the room and tried to think of hard, you know. It just happens through feeling.
It sounds as if, like from all Michael says about being looked after by Berry Gordy and Diana Ross and his parents, and you know, all through his career, that you know, he has been really looked after, and I just wonder whether he has any explanation that I suppose that there is so much kind of feeling in his voice. I mean, you could understand it in, you know, like a Billie Holiday. I wonder if Michael has any explanation as to why he's able to. I don't know if you're going to be able to put this across, but you know, how that he can put across in his voice, you know, so he can make people feel happy and make them feel sad.
Do you have any explanation of? You mean for people to feel what you feel while you're singing? What you feel?
There is no real explanation. There is no real. It's nothing having to do with personal experience. When I act, that it is through acting, but through my singing, it's just. I'll just say it simple as possible. Just godly. Really, it's just. Like I've said this before, when I was small, I didn't really know what I was doing. I just sang it, and it just came out sounding pretty good. I just do it, and it happens. I can't explain it, or it's some people. I hate to say the word. Some people call it talent, or some people call it whatever. But it just come about. It's no real personal experience or anything that make it come across. It's just feeling and God, I'll say, mainly God.